Hello you beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are the general overarching theme and energy and trends for everybody. And the way that this tends to work is it's kind of like literally a general overview. Very often I talk about world events, things that might be coming to pass, but I also talk about this on a microcosmic level as well to see how it's going to be affecting us as people on the ground. So, you know, if you know the principle as above, so below, this is very much that kind of reading to take a look at the general trends, themes and energies that we might be working on or through. If you are continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you are new to my channel, you please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the ignore me. Your message for the week ahead was a new point of reference. So when I went into my intuition, what I saw was this amazing sparkling sort of orb, and it had various different colors shooting out of it. And then what I saw was this person traveling on what looked like kind of rooftops, and then stood right at the edge just looking at it. And then they were like jumping to different rooftops to see different angles of the same thing, and every angle that they were looking from, so it may have been me, who knows, every angle that they were looking from, it was completely different. But the message that I took away from it is a new point of reference. This week you are being invited and urged to look at whatever challenges may come up for you, maybe even whatever blessings might come up for you. Look at them from a different viewpoint, a different angle. This is a week for you to really shift your point of reference. Now, for a lot of people, you may have been going through or experiencing some sort of big change, shift or upheaval, and this week you're being invited by the energy to really take a moment and say, okay, this is what I thought it was, but actually when I look at it from a different perspective, or I flip my perspective from, you know, or look at it from a different angle, I now start to understand that maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe this challenge is actually here to assist me in some way, shape or form. Maybe, just maybe, this blessing is my reward for having come through all of the crap that I've been through. In some way, shape or form, there is a reframe of something that is needed this week. So we have to see things from a different point, a different perspective, but also from a new point of reference. There's going to be new understanding, fresh insight that comes in this week. So be open to that. For your destiny card for the week ahead, we have the Temperance card, right? So very much about alignment, very much about energy shifts, very much and that's one of the things with the Temperance card as well. It can very often see an energy shift that takes place on that sort of internal level that filters out and brings to us, or certainly draws to us, the things that we say we desire. Now, interestingly enough, the other thing with the Temperance card, we are very likely to be hearing on the wider world stage some new development when it comes to either the healthcare systems of the world, or, you know, various different countries. Is very often as well with the Temperance card some new alternative therapy or medicine or something comes forward. Now, the Temperance card can represent traditional medicine or people that work in traditional medicine as well. When I say traditional medicine, I mean like the Western model, but it can also represent persons that work in the alternative therapy fields as well. So this is a week for you to really be open. And I also feel like as well, especially with the message of the week, this week I think we're going to see or understand a different development. So maybe there are going to be different ways to administer the vaccine. Maybe there are going to be ways that we can, you know, maybe not necessarily fight against or defend against it, you know, in other ways, but there are definitely going to be talks and negotiations around this week, which I find really interesting. Now, the other thing as well, for all of us in some way, shape or form, we are being asked to really think about where our energy is, what our thoughts are actually attracting to us, and more importantly, how do we turn How do we turn the crap into gold, right? This is the moment. So the Temperance card is about spiritual alchemy. And what that usually looks like is spiritual distillation. It's about taking all of your ideas, all of your knowledge, all of your experiences and condensing that in order to take away from it just the pure gems, just the pure bits of knowledge. I think the saying goes like with religion, right? All roads lead to the same place, or all religions lead to the same place anyway. You know, and that's not to take away from any of them as well, by the way, you know, whatever your faith or your spirituality happens to be. But ultimately, I think there's a fundamental idea that they're all searching for or reaching towards or even pointing towards the same thing. In the old ways, as I follow them, the saying goes is a witch that cannot hex is a witch that cannot heal, right? That's the whole idea of this temperance thing. It's not just about balance, it's about aligning your own energy with whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or welcome into your life. So it's going to be a very interesting week in terms of that. Now, let's have a look at our direction cards. How do we best utilize or tap into this temperance energy? What might we need to know or put into practice over the course of this week? And this week we have the 10 of Cups. Finding home within yourself is going to be very, very important this week. For some of you, this may actually look like looking for an actual home though as well. What else have we got? We've got the 8 of Cups, right? So lots of water energy here. So really learning and looking at the emotional state that you happen to be in at any given moment and being prepared to address the emotional imbalance as it arises or as you feel it. And then finally we have the 9 of Wands, right? So interesting numbers as well, right? We've got the 10, the 8 and the 9. So it's not quite a sequence of numbers, so I wouldn't say that that was the message, but the 10 of Cups is, like I said, this is about finding home within yourself. So the 10 of Cups represents home as one of its meanings, but it also represents material security. It represents material abundance, but it also represents a wish fulfilled that is so abundant that you could share it with others, right? Now you couple that with the Temperance card, and what you're looking at is finding home within yourself, aligning yourself with the energy of whatever it is that you're looking for out there in the world. The 8 of Cups is really looking at your emotional state and vibration on this personal sort of level, on this microcosmic level. What are your feelings and your thoughts attracting to you at this moment in time? You couple that with the 10 of Cups. This is basically saying bring your energy up to the point where it is elevated, and you can but attract those elevated things, places, people, experiences to yourself. This is really about the inner work this week. That's what it feels like to me. And then the 9 of Wands, for those of you that feel like you haven't had a moment to speak, for those of you that feel like you have been silenced in some way, shape or form, this will be your week. But the message is here, the message here for me is personally is very clear. Raise your vibration before you take your moment to speak, right? And the reason I say this is sometimes if we go in hammer and tongs and we start shouting and stuff, the message, no matter how pertinent or correct it actually is lost in translation. Bring your vibe up. I got my little goosebump shiver there. I'm like, yeah, okay. Bring your vibe up, bring your energy up. And then when you have that space, when you hold that vibration, then speak your truth, because it will have so much more weight. It will have so much more power. There is a moment for those of you that feel like there's something that you've needed to say. Maybe you've needed to be vindicated in some way, shape or form. This will be your week, right? You will get to speak. But like I said, the direction, how you best utilize this energy, bring your vibe up, find home within. And then when you have that energy, when you've got that energetic vibration, that match for whatever it is that you want, then speak into existence the thing that you're trying to welcome into your life. I just dropped a few but I didn't actually mean to go in with all of that, but okay, all right, you know, it happens the way that it happens. I know those among you who walk certain paths will be like, okay, he's out here just casually dropping those knowledge bombs there. But yeah, sorry, I'm being a dork. For your insight cards, what might we need to know? What may be taking place or shaping up behind the scenes? The Temperance card, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Whatever you are trying to manifest will show you a glimpse this week, but only a glimpse, right? The reason I say this is because the Knight of Pentacles is in the center there, right? So the Temperance card aligns the insight with the destiny energy that is overarching, the overarching wider theme and trend, right? So this is basically going to see, when it comes to the medical professions and fields on the wider world stage, I think we are going to see some very interesting developments, and I actually think we are going to start to see a longer term plan. So whatever it is that starts coming out over the course of this week, I think these are going to be the directions that we go for the next, however long we're dealing with this whole situation. Now, interestingly enough, you have the Six of Swords. That is literally travel, but it's usually long distance travel by car. So this could be you driving from one end of your country to another. This could be you driving from one state to another for some of you. Like there's a long distance travel feel to this. Now, interestingly enough, the Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius, or rules Sagittarius, whichever way you want to put it, which suggests to me that in the background there are more there's more news to come about travel industries. We're going to see a lot of developments over the course of this week and next week, actually, about where you can go, what you and the way that you can get there. I think we're definitely going to be seeing a resuming of this, certainly up to and including that would be so that's going to be, what are we now, like June, July, August, September. So right up until about September, I think we're going to see an ease and allowing of travel. After then, I think we're going to see possibly, I say possibly, touch wood, I truly hope I'm wrong on this, but I think possibly by the time we get to September, we may be looking at or hearing the words of another lockdown. But certainly from here on in, over the course of the next 6 months, we're going to see a lot more movement, a lot more travel, a lot more freedom, which is brilliant. Now, on this personal level, the Temperance card as an insight is basically saying to you, what are your, not only your bigger and longer term goals, but more importantly, where is it that you are ready to transcend your current experience? The way that you get there by utilizing the destiny energy is to really start thinking about your alignment. The Knight of Pentacles says that the changes that are being made now are for the long term, right? So there's nothing, this week you're going to see the sprout. This week you're going to see the potential. You're going to feel that, oh, okay, this could go this way, or this is how it's going to shape up. But it's not the be all and end all. Like, you haven't seen the whole of the way that this is going to go. And then finally, with the Six of Swords, this tells me that better times are ahead for all of us in some way, shape or form. I urge you, all of you, in some way, shape or form, wherever you are this week, get out into nature, go to your happy place, go to your sacred place if you possibly can. Now, if you're anything like me, anywhere where you can put your toes in the grass or in the sand, or put your back or your arms around a tree, or be immersed in the natural world, that's my church. That's where I go to find the sacred. If you're anything like me, then you'll be able to find it anywhere. But I urge you this week, especially with these cards as the insight, you will find your answers, you will find your energies, you will find your elevated state within the natural world this week. Get out into it. All right, with that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you, if you see anything on the wider world stage that kind of pertains to any of this. Take care, and I will speak to you soon.